Welcome back to Cruel Angel Gaming. So today we're working on a Volkswagen from 1967. So it's kind of a little bit old. I've never really worked on anything this old, I guess, or from this era. Figured it's a Volkswagen. I mean, they made Beetles and everything that everybody else knows. I don't know much about anything else that they did. But I figured, this would be, way to try something different, I guess. But it looks like an overseas kind of model, I guess. I don't know from where. I wouldn't know, but we're gonna work on it. Just do our normal stuff. Build a motor that's pretty much high performance, because why not? I don't know, I just feel like putting high performance motors in every car that we can. Because honestly, the high performance actually will save you gas money in the long run. I mean, I know people say that's, not necessarily true, but it's true. It's pretty much true. I can't contest to that. I mean, we've done testing before with that, but, I mean, it's pretty much true. I don't know what more what more we can do to prove it, but, I mean, I've seen the results. Results, are pretty good. But anyway, I mean, this thing's pretty much, the whole suspension's gonna have to be, ripped out. And, we're gonna have to build the motor probably from, just scratch again. I mean, it's kind of like what we're doing, because the only thing it had was the block and pistons and that type of thing. But the more of that stuff we do, the better I get at putting motors back together. But the motor we took apart for this car is not actually going to take that long to repair. If it was going to take forever to repair, I would definitely say, oh well, I'm going to be bummed about it, but it's not, because, I mean, it's coming together pretty fast. I should say it's coming apart pretty fast. I could just imagine as well, the assembly process is going to be wait, what? Type of thing, because I'm not used to putting, vehicles, or taking them together, or putting them together and taking them apart, whatever we want to call it. I'm not used to them going fast. I know when they come apart, they're a lot faster, but usually when they go back together, they're usually, slower, but, I mean, it didn't seem like it'd take forever, I guess, to get it all, apart, suspension-wise. It was just making sure that I, made a list as I went, because if you make a list, then you'll never forget it. But if you didn't put it on the list, then all you got left there is to blame yourself. But I usually make lists when I do cars like this. But I mean, I'm making more money on cars than losing, so figured might as well just keep going. Put a new tank in that in. I mean, that's about the only thing really I could do. Put a new tank in it. So I think that's about all I got on me. My inventory, coming to think of it. Might have to take the tires apart as well, once we get to that point, because I want to break every part down. I want all the stuff apart, so that way when I put this car together, I can say, yep, suspension's good, tires are good. I did everything, mechanically wise that I can think of, It's a big selling point in some of these cars is I can say, yep, I literally, checked everything on this car. Nothing is wrong with it mechanically, It kind of increases the price because, every part is been through and, mechanically said, hey, it's mechanically sound. What are you going to do, Then you can usually get a little bit more out of them. Usually, if you make sure every part's in tip-top shape, because otherwise, if you try to put it back together with rusty parts and all that, I mean, I've tried it before, like where, you know, I try to put like the most like damaged parts back on it and try to sell it. You know, like I tried it once just to see like what the, you know, like what would be the point of trying, you know, to try to do it that way, I guess. Like pretty much stripped it down and it was like, yep, I just want to sell just the body, but yeah, they won't let you do that for some weird reason. But I mean, it'll go together pretty quick. I don't see it, you know, taking that long to put it together. I mean, sure, there's gonna be some parts that were bad, so we're gonna have to now replace them. But, you know, we'll get there when we get there, right? That's the other thing I'm doing right now. Is just trying to get everything ready for it to go together. Everything on the list is, you know, I'm double checking my list too. I'm like, I'll buy a part and be like, okay, yep, that was the right part, you know, then I'll cross it off, you know, or I'll cross it off once we get it on the car. It's kind of weird how I do it, but you know, that's just what I figured I'd do. It seems to work, you know, so I'm gonna keep using it. And then, you know, it's just going together ever so quickly. I didn't think it'd go together this fast, to be honest. Like the wheels and all that, as long as you get the like right, you know, wheels and tires, you know, it'll all snap right back together, and then right on the car they go, pretty much. I mean, it's basically not, yeah, I'm just saying, it's not gonna take too long, but it'll be basically finished. At least the wheels and tires will basically finish the car. It's just the suspension that we gotta put back together, which is, you know, it'll go together pretty fast, actually. I mean, it came apart pretty quick. It should go back together at the same speed, I would think. I could be wrong, but I mean, I've seen people do it. You know, like, they'll go fast, you know. One thing, and then they'll always forget, like, they'll, like, the rubber bushing in the back corner on some of these suspensions. It's kind of funny to watch sometimes. But yeah, I don't usually miss anything. We just make sure that it's all good to go, pretty much. You know, at least that way, you know, it's mechanically sound. There's nothing anybody will have to do to the car once they drive it off of here. Because it's pretty much basically a new car. So that'll be fun. But other than that, as long as we, you know, I kind of got like a thing like where I try to have like, you know, at a certain point, at least for this car, because I thought it would go together, you know, like super fast, which it pretty much does. So that's pretty, you know, it's pretty good. Other than that, suspension will be the thing that will fight us. The motor will go back together the easiest. I'm saving that for, well, almost to the last. But I know it'll be pretty easy to put together once we get it to that point, I guess. You know, it's just gonna take us a while to get to that point. Alright, so we got a lot of it left to figure out here, at least part-wise, what we need. But I think I figured out, you know, the majority of what we're gonna need, you know, sway bars, you know, links and all of that. As long as we figured out, like, all that we needed, you know. That's why I pause sometimes to, like, see, okay, I need this, that, and this, you know. I'm reading the parts list. But, I mean, other than me reading the parts list and trying to figure out what we need for whatever vehicle, I mean, other than that, this thing is going together pretty quick, I would say. Alright, let's see what we need here. I mean, yeah, I didn't get everything on the list because I just don't, usually. But, I mean, we get the majority of the parts that we need. But, I mean, it's going together pretty fast. With it being, you know, put together so fast, like, it's just kind of weird that it's taking, like, it seems like it's taking forever for me to get it back together, but it's not. But, you know, I believe that we'll get it all done and buttoned up. I mean, the other thing that we could have to do is, like, you know, get a few parts here and there for the brake systems and stuff. I mean, we're gonna just need a few parts. Other than that, we're doing pretty good, though. Got the wheels finished, so. I mean, it does look better. Don't get me wrong, it does look pretty nice when I get it done. Then all we gotta do is paint it. Do what we gotta do, you know. Of course, on my list, I update it as often as I can, but there's still some parts that I wish I could get, but I didn't for some weird reason, or one reason or another. So with all that, you know, that's pretty much all I can do, is just make sure I get the parts that we need. Once we get all the stuff, you know, pretty much together, it won't be a problem, you know, to keep it together, but it's just sometimes getting the parts that I need. Like, you know, most of the brakes we have, you know, just gotta put a few things here and there on, and then it's pretty much together. Whole suspension's been rebuilt, which I didn't even think we'd get to this point. You know, it's like one of those, you never thought you'd be here, but you are now. At least for the rear, like, the whole rear is done. Front will take, like, less time because there's not as many parts as there is on this one. Alright, so as long as we keep it going together the way it's supposed to, it should be fine. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the right size. I'm trying to match the size, like, so if I put one size on one place, I want to keep it going on the other, you know. But other than that, I mean, it's going good. You know, I just don't have, like, a battery or anything to throw in, but, well, I do, but it's not a good one. Oh, we're gonna buy more bushings. Alright, yeah, I knew I had these parts, I just forgot to put them together. Which I guess is a good thing, because all we have left is pretty much the front suspension. That'll only take us a few seconds, and then, you know, boom, we're done, pretty much. Feels like at the snap of our fingers that I got the whole, like, suspension rebuilt. You know, that's kind of what it's feeling like. All I did is snap my fingers and boom, it was done. You know, it's kind of like a weird feeling, I guess. Alright, got that in. Nope, didn't buy the right ones. Oh well. That's my bad. I must have written it down wrong. Oh well. That's an easy fix though. As heck, and the next car that we repair might need those, so. There we go. Okay, so brakes we ain't got. Gotta get those tie rods in. As long as we get those tie rods and all that in. There we go. Now this side's pretty much basically rebuilt. Just besides the brakes. Okay. Let's buy the brakes real quick. At least get this side together. Okay. Let's update the list here. That's pretty much what we're doing right now, is updating the list, but it seems to be going pretty good, actually. I mean, I don't see any, like, real reason to be worried about anything. The list is going pretty good. Just gotta put that in, and then put the wheels in. Same thing on the other side. Shouldn't take us that long, and then that whole suspension system's been rebuilt, you know. I just gotta buy some bushings real quick. At least before I forget, we'll just buy a whole stack of them. Alright, we'll get these bushings in here. Could put the outer tie rod on. Might as well. And then all we got left to do is buy that knuckle. And then once we buy the knuckle, you know, put it right together. So that's not too bad. At least the whole thing's gonna be finished. At least the suspension, what? At least now it's basically a rolling car, basically. I mean, minus like, you know, the actual motor and that, but other than that, it's technically roller chassis. We got the motor to rebuild next, which isn't going to take us that long at all. Alright, let's see. Get the brakes on. There we go. Last tire on. Alright. Now we can finally sit it down. Maybe work on the battery at least. Get the battery at least completed. Put it. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.